Good afternoon and welcome back to City Memorial Bowls Club down here in Warrnambool. We are live for some men's singles action, round 16 between Ryan Tainton from the Northern Gateway region and Essendon Bowls Club and Nathan Bush from the Geelong region and the Eastern Park Bowls Club. I'm joining some illustrious company today. Australian Fours winner, multiple state titles winner, Premier League winning player, state selector. He's Anthony Flapper. How are you, mate?
Jimmy, good afternoon.
Yeah, how are you enjoying it down here? When did you get here?
Arrived Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit different not playing and just watching, but all good.
You say that for the side of your mouth like you're disappointed.
Sorry?
You say that like you're disappointed. You want to be playing?
Well, it's not usually here without playing, so
yeah.
It's good to watch.
Yeah, fair enough. You got your club mate here, Ryan. How do you think he's going to go?
I think he'll go well. Look, Bushy's no pushover. He's probably one of the better singles players in the state, but Ryan's been playing pretty good.
How's he going singles, Ryan? Is he his sort of format?
Yeah, he likes singles. He's interesting sort of character that he plays good singles game. I think this will be a good match.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we did the live stream on Bushy against Lee Schreiner and Brad Marin in the pairs of the day, and he bowled well. So he knows this rink as well. He's been on it before a couple of days ago. So it's be interesting to see how this one goes. Ryan coming off on the backhand to start with. The rink should be warmed up. We just had a great game between Carla Krasanik and Jess Wallace before.
Yeah, I think they've played a couple of times. I think in finals, from what someone mentioned to me. So yeah, two quality players in the state for sure.
Yeah, agreed. Got a ripper of a game next door as well, mate. Pidge and Todd Shannon, Thor Shannon. Any favourites in that one for you?
Look, Todd's been playing all here a couple of days already, so you'd have to go in favourite, you'd think. But yeah, Pidge is no pushover. He's a tough competitor.
Yeah, can play singles too. Doesn't get any less of a standard on ring 3. Mr. Lee Schreiner. It's Neil Crisp, who's the local homeboy. He's got some supporters down here today. They reckon he's a very handy singles player.
He's been around, Neil, with that stick for a while, and he's got a few credentials behind him too. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I wouldn't
rule him out.
Homegrown talent, so he'd have to be a chance.
Yeah, a bit inside knowledge. Yeah, Nathan,
as long as he can play ditch to ditch.
Very true. Yeah, Nathan getting a touch there, but not collecting the kiddie. So looks to be maybe one to Ryan. It's hard to tell from our angle. He's hoping to someone absolutely jumping on the jack here, though. So in your role as a state selector, what have you sort of been doing this week? Just keeping an eye on people you already know, or are you looking for new talent? Or
it's more about a lot of the people that have been in the squad and seeing how they're performing and how they're playing, but a lot of it's about new talent, so people that have stepped up. So I know on the men's side, the two guys that just played off in the final had played really awesome for 2 days. Reece and Brad.
Yeah.
Brad, probably a little bit disappointed with his final effort, but he played exceptional last night to beat Todd Shannon, and this morning to beat Josh Thornton. So
yeah,
two guys that hadn't sort of been seen at this level for a while, but their performances were exceptional.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's good to see some of the regional boys getting in amongst it and performing and catching the eye. It's good. Maybe 2 down here. It's coming on that forehand, which has been a bit tricky on this rink 1. Again, we're at capacity, so we can't move any rinks. Cut to 1.
Probably cut it back to 1, I think. Yeah, rink 1's a bit tricky. I wouldn't say it's the best of them, but you both got to play on it.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, we've. This is the last time we'll be using all rinks and the undercover, so we're able to try and push the rinks over from this after, sort of half a rink up, rink 1.5. Nathan just trying to play the same shot?
Yeah, I think so. It's pretty safe on that with the 2 flat bowls there, so.
Needs to get a bit. Just the one Nathan to kick off. Oh, he's going to get the measure out. We spoke about on the stream of Nathan's the other day in the pairs, the leadership that he's shown at Eastern Park. He's gone down there and coached them to multiple premierships, I think. Shows the sort of bloke he is. He was playing with Paul Newcombe on in the pairs. So that's giving it 2 actually. 2 to Nath. Yep. 2 to start with for Nathan. Got a favourite for this men's singles?
For the entire event?
Yep.
No, it's too hard.
You're sitting on the fence like I
You've
did.
got the likes of Strainer, Bush, Marnie, Shannon, Tainton. That's just on this screen.
Can't even see what's down below. Nathan Murray, I can see. Ethan Higgins, he goes alright in singles as well.
So no, you'd be gutsy to tip a winner too early.
Ooh. Just on the rink next door. Thor's holding 3. Hitch just had a drive and took his own bowl out. So it's now 3 to Thor with 1 to come from each player. We start by Nathan out. Let's get the touch, doesn't? Yeah, it does get the touch. What are your tactics in singles? First bowl?
I try not to play too much singles because I can't find a good enough leader.
Ryan's bowled a great reply.
Good shots.
How's his form this year, Ryan? Is he?
He hasn't been too bad. It's hard to assess them on a pennant performance versus state champions week. But
Yeah.
the singles are a completely different game.
Yeah.
He's always will back himself, and he's got a good draw shot. So. Which most people have, otherwise they wouldn't be playing here.
Tell you what, this is a good head here so far. Do you reckon the facilities top notch?
Yeah, I wish there was a few more of these around, particularly in Melbourne.
Yeah, for us it's been great having the 2 rinks under cover. I mean, Marcus just walked in front of her. Nathan might change his shot based on that now. She does, because now on the backhand he was lined up on the forehand.
It's a bit trickier this ditch side. I can hang out a little bit, which.
He's playing with the wider bowls. Nathan's playing with the vectors, Taylors. So he found some turn the other night. I'm sure he'll try and find some tonight as well. Yeah, Ryan's going with a bit of pace here. No, just the one down. What's he trying to do here, you reckon? He's got the coverage at the back.
He'd just be drawing up to the orange. If he touches the jack, might make a couple.
It's not a lot for him to lose by ensuring he's reaching. You don't want to obviously get too much weight, but what a ball. What an effort. And he draws it. Top ball.
Fatten the target up a little bit.
Ryan will go big.
Ordinarily you might, but with only one bowl sort of near it.
Good call. He's having a good think. He's had a look, he stood back on the mat and had another think. He's going big. Yeah, just missed his hand up. Another 2 to Nathan to start off with. 4 zip. Bringing the mat up. Try and put the jack on the tee. It's an art in itself, rolling the jack in a singles game, eh?
Yeah, it's an art form. I can't say much. Everyone thinks I throw it from the hip. So.
Yeah, I can't say it's one of my skill sets either, I'll be honest. A bit quick on his first one here.
So it looks like they're both going to favour the inside of the green as much as possible.
Yeah, that mirrors the game before. Yeah, looks like the shot ball coming from Ryan here. Just wants to get some finish now. Yeah, good reply. Cupping some flack there, mate. Yes. Good effort there. That might force Ryan under the forehand. No, stand on the back. What are you looking for when you're watching these players for state selection or to get in towards the squad? I mean, it's obviously the level of bowls they can play. Is there any sort of additional things you really want from your players?
Oh, good attitude towards the game, positiveness, particularly when they're in team events. It's a bit, as I said, it's a bit different in singles. Because nowadays all the state representative is falls format.
Yep.
There's not much else. So, ability to probably play different positions if required. And just consistency is the key thing. So
yeah, I think singles you might be able to really tell a player's temperament as well when they're by themselves. So it's quite easy to get in your own mind in a game of singles. I'm just trying to cover that. He's willing it to get past that green. Go bigger second time, you reckon? I think then both them oranges go if he hits his own green.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Depends how much trust he's got in this forehand draw shot. But no, he's lining up backhand, so this will have plenty on it.
Oh.
All right.
Makes a mockery of us.
I'm a bit nervous about the people standing behind. Sitting behind.
Oh, we were when your brother was playing yesterday. I said, we got to watch our cameras. He didn't actually wind one up.
With the jack on the tee, it's not going to take too much to get it above the ditch.
Some glass windows at the back though, you want to keep them.
You're protected by the people.
There's that great video online. I think it might have been Ryan Bester's driver. It jumps up. I don't know what club they're playing, and it jumps off the green and hits the glass behind. And I don't know how it doesn't shatter to pieces. But
I saw that the other day, and there was actually the player who's playing against one of the girls was actually had her back to it.
Yes,
in her bowls bag, and it flew past her head. I don't think she even realised. He's on the board.
Yeah, 4-2 to Nathan. Exchanging some twos here. Does he have a preferred length, Ron, or is he an all-rounder?
Oh, no, you'll tend to mix it up a bit.
Playing about a 3/4. So his lead ball comes in from Ryan out. He's turned his back on it. It's skinny, but weight was handy. So Todd's got an early lead over Hidge in the rink next door, 4-2. There might be an end to go on that though, as Todd's got last ball in his hand. Todd Thor, I should say.
Got a track here, whether it's running out.
Yeah, he corrected his line, just didn't keep the same pace. The good men's triples final coming up after this as well, mate.
Yeah, it should be a ripper. It was, kudos to the two teams in the semi-final that went a long way. So great efforts from them, but yeah, it's probably two of the teams on paper that you probably wanted to see in the final. So
yeah, it's a team of Brad Orr and Nathan Wilson. Brad's played some great bowls this week, Brad Orr. He's been in multiple events and he's gone deep in all of them. He's a winner of the fours and semi-final loses to Nathan Bush in the pairs, and yeah, now he's in the triples final. Showing some good leadership. He's been down a couple of times as well, and he's marshalled his rink quite well.
yeah, he's got a good record in the country, and he's a solid player, and he's former state representative, so he's no slouch. Hard player also to get over all the time, so I'm looking forward to that final.
Yep.
I know I've played with Dogger a little bit in the past, and I know he's won a couple of triples titles and a fours title, but I think I'm not sure he's skipped an event in the final yet, so
Yeah, right.
be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
He's always good to watch. Puts it on for the crowd anyway.
Yeah, he does. Yesterday he sent a ball down on his forehand, ran ahead of it, jumped on the rink. He was bowling, trying to land one on the edge of the green, jumped ahead of it, called it in, and yeah, it stayed just on the rink. It was great showmanship. Said I'd try it myself Saturday. I'd probably end up falling over as I was running past the bowl. A tough shot now for Nathan. Ryan sort of blocked any big way. Have to try and draw it off. Oh, he might be able to. Ooh. That would have been a put your hands up and take it. Yeah, one Ryan, 4-3. Close game to start with. Two ends apiece. Are you boys playing the weekend, mate?
We go to Mentone.
Oh, yeah.
We
new
won't talk.
synthetic.
Yeah, I heard it was new, so that'll be interesting. I didn't mind the old one.
Thor holding 2 on the next rink, and Peach going for an early drive and missing. So still 2 to Thor there. A couple of feet short by Ryan there. He's nice opportunity to jump on. He's close to doing, just sort of a bit thin on his line.
Speed, yeah.
Enjoy watching bowls, or do you prefer playing? I don't think I'm the greatest watcher of bowls sometimes. I enjoy doing it in this stream, but what about you?
Oh, I can't say that I've been a lover of watching a lot of bowls in the past, but when you take on a state selection role, you better get used to it.
You try and get round to as many tournaments as well, or just sort of these big events?
No, mainly the state events.
Yep.
It's where most of the good players will be, so...
Ryan looking to sit that bowl, just probably got a slightly higher on it than he wanted to. Sets him up nicely for his last though. Just looking at the scoreboard to get some score updates. I can see a few markers might not have jumped on the scoreboard yet, but I can see the only one I can really see that's been updated so far is Thorpe. Says 4-1, but I think he might be further ahead than that, ahead of Pidge.
Ryan just on the high side again. When you get out on that side, it just tends to stick a little bit.
Yeah. Just try and draw in under the Ryan's wing orange bowl here. Just another shot. He's turned his back on it early. Well, maybe it was pretty similar to the others.
Speed good 4 times.
Yep, 1 to Nathan, 5-3 he leads.
Looks like the locals leading 4-0 over Lee Schroner.
Yep, finally jumps on the scoreboard there. Thor is 7-1 up against Pidge. Over on rink 4, Jared Hammond from Murray Mallee, a Central Goulburn Murray representative. That's 2-1, 2-2. There's some very early scores in the ladies. I think Tristalden's 1-0 and 4-3 on rink 6 between the Central Goulburn Murray representative over the Geelong player. Yeah, Ripper lead there by Nath. Ryan's close. Yeah, good ball, Ryan.
Good shot. Yeah, it's a good shot too.
It's a great reply.
Nice little bit of bend back on that rink.
Yep.
Down near the tee. It's got a bit of purpose on it.
Yeah, isn't he? Oh, just hang. Oh, close, stiff. And he knows where that is, but he's got 2 more to go at it.
Nathan's good again here, and he's trailed it.
Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what he wanted to do. To rip a ball. Holds 2 now.
You don't often get 2 goes at it at this level when they're sitting like that.
Nah. Yeah, he's doing the right thing and having a look. Scoring Jared Hammond's rink 4, 2-2 at this stage. All early doors. I think he's going to try and just draw as close as he can.
Yeah, he's got 2 left, so it might be worth trying to draw a second, but he does have that toucher, so.
It's just going to go in. Yeah, not far off. He knows that pace to adjust with his neck. Still got 1 more bowl left. The jack's in the pit. Nathan's touch of that Diddich just above it, as you can see. He's also got a second shot 2 or 3 feet from the ditch. He's played a few bowls on this backhand, Nathan, though. Another ripper, put some pressure on Ryan now.
Just needs to make a couple of feet correction, I think, and be pretty close. Lining up backhand.
Yeah, it's going to be some pace. Trying to just move a few balls off the green. Gets 1 out.
Got 1 out.
Couple more to Nathan to 7-3.
I just see Jared Hammond's out to an 8-2 lead.
Oh wow!
So he's had 2 big ends.
You come across him before?
No, someone mentioned it to me this morning that one of our teammates actually plays a little bit of bowls at Kahuna and mentioned his name, that he's been having a great year up there. So
yeah, I think he's won the champs again, or he's won something. He's won maybe the singles up there again. I met him at a tournament a few years ago, and he's a real nice kid, and I've always had a good conversation and over a beer with him when I see him around. He's certainly can play, and Josh Thornton knows him fairly well. He said he's a very handy singles player, so it'll be interesting to see how deep he can go. Yeah, good start with Nathan again. Started pretty handily. Yeah, Ryan a good bait on the reply again. It's all a bit quiet in here at the moment. There's a few applauses. There's no raucous noise like there was earlier. From just intensely watching the game, I think.
Good shot again by Nath, but
just playing these sort of shorter ends.
I'll have a bit more purpose on this, I think.
Yeah, great. Just got to get down. He's actually moved his ball into a fairly handy position at the back there. Still 2 to Nath. Just trying to turn his own over, or maybe just tick Ryan's at the back.
Yeah, I think it's important for him to get past, which he has. Backhand with just a little bit weight, he's just missing him wide.
Yeah, give it a bit of a stare as it went down as well, so I don't know if it sort of hung out on him what he was expecting. Might have been the pace a bit. Yeah, what's some finish here, Nathan? Does he get in for 3? I don't think. Oh, he has.
Watch the window.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get that big. Yeah, he's under. It's 3 to Nathan. Takes it to 10-3. I'm going to tag over to the big boss for 10 minutes. Tony Sherwell, the CEO of Bowls Victoria, is going to jump on with Anthony Flapper for a few ends. So I'll hand over to Tony.
Hello, Anne. Hello, everybody.
Tony, how are you?
Yeah, very good, mate. I'm going to do my best to speak my best British accent. All you geezers, you'll have to listen to this for a little bit, right? I promise I won't keep that up for too long.
I was actually understanding Jimmy for a change.
Oh, so you're the only one. No, lovely fella, Jimmy, but you never miss an opportunity to rip into him. 2 more shots to Bushy.
Makes that 9-3.
Not the ideal start for Bushy. Puts the jack in the pit. Ryan says, I'll have none of that short end stuff. Takes it back. Have you seen this match so far, Ant?
I think Bushy's just been more solid on the draw so far. Ryan probably missed a couple of weighted shots and probably just battled with that inside of the green with weight, where they're just holding a little bit more. So
Yep.
Oh, and they both lost the jack.
Well, there you go. Makes us all feel better, even at this level. Jack can still go in the pit. Nathan Bush says, I'll tell you exactly where I'm going to put it, right up to the 21 metre mark. Maybe even a centimetre or 2 over, but who's counting? It's deceptive, this angle.
I'd be calling the umpire. I think that's short.
So Jack on the tee, absolute minimum length end here. Actually struggling to get the players in shot on the mat with our 45-degree angle camera. A couple of other good matches here. Pidge looks to be leading.
No,
Todd Simmons, other way around, is it? We've got the markers around the wrong way. Okay. Todd Shannon is leading 8-2 over Pidge. Thanks, Anth, for the correction. And Neil Crisp, a former, I'm going to say he won a Vic Open and a semi-finalist in an Australian Open. A local boy, uses a bowler's arm. He's having a good tussle with World Champion of Champions Lee Schreiner. Currently 4-3. Back to the Nathan Bush bowl. Good enough to count for two. Tell us about Ryan Tainton, Ant. What's his claim to fame at Essendon? Is that club mate of yours?
He's a club mate. He's a Geelong boy originally. Then he, for work, moved to Bendigo. Had a few seasons up there with South Bendigo. Won a couple of flags, I think.
Right.
Then moved back into, I think he was living around Sunbury region when we got him to Essendon. His claim to fame at Essendon, well, for his first year skipping was the year we won the flag, and he only lost one game for the year. So
that's a fair effort in Premier Division.
He has played Premier Division before. I think he had a year at Moonee Ponds back in the day when he was a young fella.
Yep.
But no, his rink was fantastic that year. He had Peter Lowe playing third, which is like a luxury.
Handy, absolutely, absolutely. As Bushy just draws another one in, so holding three. Bit of pressure on Ryan Tainton here. Yeah, to have Lowy playing three for you, make for a couple of good days at the office.
You're looking to pop the jack here. I'll back him in.
Oh, it's a very good effort. Removes the shot bowl. Turns it around and goes from 3 down to 1 up. Great effort by Ryan Tainton. It's now 4-9.
And he needed that.
He did. Speaking of Lowy, he's joined your brother down at Ocean Grove, I hear.
Yeah, well, Lowy's never been a city boy.
Yep.
We had him for a lot longer than I'd expected at Essendon. So.
Too restrained in the city, is he? He needs a bit of freedom in the bush.
Oh, no, he's just... hates traffic, hates busyness. He's just so relaxed. He's a country boy.
He's that sort of guy, isn't he? Be a handy pickup for Ocean Grove, though. It'll certainly strengthen their team.
Oh. No end. No end. He gave us good service for over 10 years, so we can't complain.
Must be some sort of attraction to that area. Nathan Bush bowl follows down Ryan's bowl. Your requests for scores from other rinks, we'll bring them to you shortly. Nathan just correcting a little there with that one. Rolls it in for shot. What are your thoughts on this facility, Ant, here at Warrnambool City Memorial Bowls Club?
As I said to Jimmy, I wouldn't mind having a few more of these in Melbourne. One particularly at Essendon would be nice.
Absolutely. Nice bowl there from Ryan. Just getting around the Nathan Bush bowl.
I think it's the way bowls is going to go. As much as I prefer to play on grass greens, but it's when you get a good surface, they're very hard to beat. You can play consistent, quality bowls.
Yeah, that's too right. And obviously removes most of the elements from the equation. Actually, marker just signaling that Bushy's still got shots, so it's a bit deceptive from this camera angle, but maybe it's just my eyes too. Well, the last two comments really show chalk and cheese, don't they? I certainly agree with Adam Ellerton. We need an undercover green in Bendigo, there's no doubt about that. Probably the last of the major centres without an undercover green, but the comment before that, Lucas Protopapas, the last thing we need is for me to get out there for a roll and show people what to do. Nathan Bush, holding one, looking to add.
I have heard about your exploits at Australian Open, Tony. You did tell me that story, but I haven't never seen you bowl.
Which one? There's only one story I like to tell.
That's what I said, one story.
The one victory. No, that's not true. Actually, a couple, but there was one good one in there, that's for sure. Nathan Bush picks up another one. He moves along to double figures. It leads 10-4.
The scores on the other rinks. Shannon leads Marnie 11-2. Crisp has just gone ahead of Schrainer, I think 6-5 or 7-5. And Hammond's leading Emerson 8-4.
Ray Emerson, one of the nicer blokes you'll ever meet. Of course, now calls Baruga home, but
he's a former bomber, would you believe that?
Bomber, yes, and now playing not too far down the road. It used to be Clifton Park, but now Aberfeldy Sports Club. Representing New South Wales, probably the only thing he doesn't have going for him. If it was Victoria, we'd be very happy. Of course, he's an over 60s representative now, so he's working his way back. It's the one blight against his name is those New South Wales letters.
No bitterness there, is there, CEO?
No, not at all. Not at all. How quickly do you reckon I can get myself into trouble here, Ant?
I don't know. I think we've just lost a number of viewers off the streaming from New South Wales.
Lucas Protopapas saying I carried him that day at the Australian Open. Don't know about that. I tell you what, I kid you not, we actually had a really good day out. Lucas and myself, Neil, the CEO of Bowls Australia, and Clive, the one and only rinkside Clive, was skipping. And we had a day out. We really did. It was good fun. Ryan with some weight. Gets rid of both. Oh, great shot. Bushy just a touch long. kind of hard sitting this close to the players, isn't it, Ant? You've got to be a little careful about what
Yeah,
you
you
say.
can't say too much.
Yeah.
I was about to say the key to singles play, I think, is when you're playing aggressive like Ryan just is, and he's the ability to get back then on the draw, which is just proves that how good some of these players are. To go from draw to drive, and drive to draw, a major component of singles play.
Absolutely. Not always easy with that adjustment, but shown it very well on this end. Holding 2. And Bushy may have something to say about that.
Yeah. This is...
Nathan Bush just pushing and pushing. Couldn't quite get the shot, but has cut it from 2 back to 1. Ryan has a bowl to come. What's the play here, Ant? Does he try and remove the Bush bowl and get 3? Sit and stay, or just try and draw another one, get it in there?
I think if he can snag a couple, he's back into the game at 6-10, I think. Bushy short of the jack, so you never know, you can always run off it onto the jack. Looks very similar to his last.
He's watching it intently. Wanting it to drop in. No.
And he's on.
Not quite, but takes 1. It's now 5 shots to 10. Lead to Nathan Bush over Ryan Tainton. Just looking over to Leroy's rink over there. He's got 3 you could throw a face washer over. Which means Neil Crisp is on the drive and unfortunately narrowly misses and takes out his own bowl. So Todd Shannon playing with a little bit of weight. There must be a bit of aggression out there.
Suddenly, I was just about to say that the singles of the last 2 days has been quite passive, I think. It's
just turned it up a notch.
Some of the big boys have come out letting rip early, I think.
Ryan Tainton with a good handy opener though. Sits one in. Putting a bit behind, 18 inches behind. Oh. Gee, we just had an errant jack from the neighbouring rink and wasn't picked up by the marker for some reason, so nearly careered into the head next door. But all is forgiven, just misses. Don't know if Leroy would have been that forgiving if it had have dislodged that head. It's looking pretty good with 4.
I think we all knew where it was.
Yeah.
Where his other 3 are.
Great bowl by Ryan. Just nudges past Bushy's bowl. Question without notice, Ant. Who's the best Victorian play you've ever seen? Actually, I'll go with who's the best Victorian you've ever played alongside. Might be an easier one to answer. There's obviously been plenty of choose.
Played alongside. I can tell you the best I've played with is Michael Wilkes.
Yeah.
Every state game I played, I was fortunate enough to play with Wilksy.
Yep.
Wouldn't get a nicer bloke.
Yep.
Always encouraging, positive, and I first played in the side, I think I was early 20s, and very positive and great guy to play with. And strangely enough, that rink back then had the late Grant Hopwood.
Yep.
It was also a very encouraging guy and great to play with. And Chris Annette, another one who's has passed on, so makes me feel a bit old.
No, I don't think you're old at all, Ant. But Michael Wilkes, as you say, doing some terrific stuff, and now, of course, finds himself in Merimbula. Doing some great stuff there at the club, but still coming back to play.
Yeah, I did hear that he's playing a few games at Mentone, I think, so he might turn up on Saturday. So
yeah, well,
let's hope not.
Yeah, fingers crossed for Mentone, but I don't know whether you'd be hoping he's there.
No, Victoria's had a lot of good players for a number of years, so we probably haven't had haven't been the right side of the ledger in terms of Australian duties, but we're on the other side of the Murray.
Yeah, well, hence my comments earlier that don't let me bring you down, Anne. But no, you're right. I mean, I think we've clearly got the talent. We could field an Australian team out of the talent of Victorians. Got to convince those selectors sometimes at national level, who I might add do a terrific job. 1 to Ryan Tainton. He puts consecutive ends together for the second time in today's match. 6-10, starting to close the gap. Not much seems to faze Nathan Bush though, and he seems a pretty relaxed and cool customer.
Oh, they're both pretty calm guys, I must say. I know Ryan has a game plan every time he walks out, and very adjustable, and yeah, Bushy's pretty relaxed. Been around a long time, been a good player for a long time.
Ryan skipped the 4s here earlier in the week.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Luke Waith and Brad Willoughby and Steve Pavinas. Yeah, they probably weren't playing the best bowls that they're capable of, but I thought they might have went a bit deeper, but they ran into Ori's team, so beaten by the eventual winners.
Well, I mean, Brad Orr's had a terrific tournament, and as you say, eventual winners, there's no shame in a loss there.
Yeah, Ori's another, has been a good player for a long time. And
yeah. Nice guy too. I actually only formally met him the other day. Spoken to him on the phone a few times, and we've swapped a few emails and whatever else, but never actually had the privilege of meeting him, which I got the chance to do earlier in the week. Lovely, lovely fella. Speaking of lovely fellas, Adam Ellerton on the commentary is fast becoming a favourite too. Just saying that we'll win the State of Origin of bowls, that's exactly correct. We've got half the Queensland teams made up of Victorians. In fact, I'm not sure there's any Queenslanders in the Queensland team, so...
One of New South Wales best at the moment's a Victorian, so...
Correct. We like to share the love. Little doubt we'd be State of Origin favourite. No Mark Casey for Queensland, no Brett Wilkie for Queensland. Nathan Rice would have to go back to Tassie. Sean Baker would go to the NT. And then talk the females, we'd bring back Claire Turley, Claire Duke. We'd bring back Chloe. I could go on for ages on this. Get myself into more trouble than I'm
it's
probably
like you sat down and thought about this.
Just a little. Question from John Ritchie about how big is the covered green. Comfortably 8 rinks. I don't know whether it's the full 40 metres or not, but it's got to be close to it.
And there's 2 of them undercover.
Yeah, 2 greens undercover. So terrific facility here. Players and spectators really could not ask for much more. So Ryan putting another good end together, holding 2. This looks not too bad from Bushy though. Oh. There wasn't much of a gap there, but he happens to find a little bit of a split, unfortunately for him. It's like still 2 to Ryan so far, 1 bowl each to come. Ryan looking to add to the count here. Actually gets around that Nathan Bush bowl. It's going to be pretty handy. Lovely bowl. Lovely, lovely bowl.
He's played a good end here.
He really has. He's put it together well. Marker very confidently signals 3. Nathan Bush with something to think about with his last bowl.
Nathan's front one might be the one that just might be slightly in his way with any ability to play any weight, so I think it's probably going to be a flat draw here.
Try and reduce the count if nothing else. Good
It
call
wasn't-
by Anthony Flapper.
Wasn't far away with his last.
He was a bit stiff with the last one. Just managed to find a little hole, but he's following this one intently. Wow, what a great bowl. He just finds a little gap again, shakes his head in disgust because he actually bowled that really well, Ant, but
He's pretty much
managed
gone
to
through the
just
same
slip
hole
through.
twice. Touched the jack twice, and he's still 2 down, I'd say.
someone must have greased those up.
It's a
Marker
cruel game.
just not wanting to signal, but has now signalled 1, so still did cut it from 3 back to 1. So it's 1 more to Ryan Tainton of Essendon Bowls Club. Of course, we say Northern Gateway here, given that's the region that he bowls for. He moves on to 7. Nathan Bush from Eastern Park, stuck on double figures. He's 10, of course, representing the Geelong region.
Other scores on Rink 2, Shannon's leading Marnie 13-3. Schreiner leads Crisp 9-7. And Hammond leads Emerson 11-4. I think in the ladies, Vicky Smith from Lilydale's leading Trish Doolan 6-3. My eyesight's not that good to see the others.
Starts to get a long way away from here, doesn't it? So it's Central Golden Murray versus Geelong, locked at 10 all. But it is a long way away, so don't quote me on those scores. Some other scores from the other green that's just been handed to us. Nathan Murray, of course, Bundura RSL, is leading Lloyd from Sunbury 18-5. It looks like the writing's not the clearest, so apologies if I'm wrong, but it looks like 18-5. And Ethan Higgins is up versus his opponent from Strzelecki 6 all. And Pat Schramm from City of Echuca is 14-1 up. But I don't know her opponent, and it is a long way away, I apologise. Very handy lead to the lovely Pat Schramm, of course a director of Bowls Victoria, now Deputy President as of the most recent elections. And obviously throws them down her. She's leading 14-1 in a state singles. So.
Another good start by Ryan. This game's starting to heat up, I think.
He's hit a nice little patch, hasn't he, the last 4 or 5 ends. He's won 4 of the last 5 and has been all over it. What about best play you've seen non-Victorian? You mentioned Wilkesy as probably being one of the best that you've played with. What about a non-Victorian?
I think if you're talking singles player, Steve Glasson's got a record. I was reading something the other day. His singles record for Australia, which is quite impressive.
Of course, the 2004 World Outdoor Singles Champion.
Yeah, but his record on the Australian indoor, I think he won it 9 times, 8 or 9 times in 12 years or something. He was unbeatable on that rink. 9
indoors at Tweed Heads is an incredible feat. Likely never to be matched. The only one, of course, that will come close to it, likely is Karen Murphy, who has about 6 under her belt. But getting from 6 to 9 is still going to be a tough ask. And, of course, the current national coach, Steve Glasson. An all-round good guy. Imagine if he was a Victorian. Then he would have the whole box and dice. But a lovely, lovely fella.
Well, he's another one currently in New South Wales, but he's a Queenslander through and through, isn't he?
This is true, and the easiest way to tell is during State of Origin of Rugby League, he firmly puts on a maroon jersey. He's been a Sydney sider for a long time now.
He probably played a bit of it when he was younger, was he? Big front rower.
You would imagine so. Wouldn't want to get in front of him.
Right.
Ryan piling on the pressure here. Nathan Bush perhaps a little wide.
What to do here? Might be just trying to reach underneath on the forehand and move the jack a little, I think.
Yeah, you can see him sort of studying just to work out what to play. Nathan Bush playing good control weight in that last one, although he missed. It's not lost out there in the back. So that'll obviously be in Ryan Tainton's mind.
Going for cover.
Not a bad spot to be. Nathan Bush undoubtedly will try and pop this jack out to his catcher at the back. Just under. Slot 2 to Ryan Tainton. Continues to claw this lead back. It's 9-10, but he's won 5 of the 6 last ends now. Travis Bradley, the last score we've got for Ethan Higgins is 6-all. So I hope that helps, but that was probably 5 minutes ago, maybe a touch more. We'll keep you updated as we get them, but they are on the next green along, so we can't quite see it all from here. I apologise. Well, I think that's enough punishment for everybody listening to the live stream. We are going to be joined now by Joshua Thornton, Commonwealth Games gold medalist, Australian Open pairs winner. He's going to take the place of myself, Tony Sherwell. It's enough dribble out of me. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Welcome everybody. I'm glad to join this match. It's been a good match so far. And the game swung a little bit the last few ends, has it not?
It has, yeah. Ryan's just got his... just outdrawing Bushy at the moment.
I don't know whether this has been discussed with you early in the broadcast, but I mean, the choice of tools sometimes on synthetics are a big thing when it comes to sport. And when I realised Nathan the other day had brought the Taylor Vectors here, I thought, very smart move, knowing what these greens do.
Yeah, I think you do want a turning bowl. I think Ryan's using the Drake's Pride Conquest, I think. But yeah, particularly with... you see a couple of the rinks, and particularly on ring 1, there is a couple of spots where the bowls run a little bit straight, so you do want a turning bowl, the ability to get around things at times. So yeah, I didn't realise Bushy was using Vectors.
Vector VS.
Don't see too many of them around.
No, not at all. I know some of the other guys during the week have changed. And Brad Orr, who's featured prominently, usually plays the Adrenalines and pulled out his Conquest after one game here early in the week, so it's having the right bowls can definitely help in certain situations.
I can't go rubbishing Drake's after Ori's performance this week.
No way.
Ryan's just found the range, and Bushy switched across to this backhand side, which is probably the harder of the two hands,
Yes.
I think. But
Yeah. You reckon they'll be a little bit more intent with this bowl now with where the heads?
Trouble on these surfaces is you sort of play that extra yard or two and you tend to miss a lot, tend to miss wide.
You do.
So I think you just got to back yourself to draw the shot.
Which he's done.
Draw the heads. Which he's done there, drawn the shot.
Does Ryan now try and turn one of his own over, or does he get a little bit more attacking and potentially poke Nathan's bowl out?
It's hard to see from this angle, but he's probably got the opportunity to make this a split there or turn his orange over. It's probably far enough that he can get it off the jack. I'll tell you one thing, he doesn't leave too many short when he's down. And this has purpose.
He's chasing it pretty intently. And what you just mentioned, that sometimes when you play a little weight, they tend to drift past on the high side, don't they? He wasn't far away though. How have you found playing with Ryan the last few years?
Yeah, no, he's a good team player. He gets the most out of his team. As I said earlier, his first year was sensational when he had only one rink loss for the season.
He was the Premier Division Skipper of the Year, was he not?
He was.
Yep.
We had two sides that he lost one and one lost two. So when you do that, the others coming behind him only got to scratch around to get a win now and then. So no, he's a good player. I was fortunate enough to play with him last year with Jay by Norris and him in the BPL or the
BPL Cup.
Yeah, BPL Cup.
Yep.
So they sent the old bloke out and let him lead.
And he's had some success. I mean, probably one of the best, I reckon probably one of the best pairs tournaments in the country is the Miami Pairs. And he's the reigning champion.
He is. He's a very steady player and he has been for a long time. So while he's moved around regions, he's had a lot of success in each of the regions he's played in.
I actually played with him for 4 games at Geelong West and back in the mid-2000s, and we were lucky enough to win a premiership that year in the Baylor at Geelong Premier League. He was only 18 years old back then. Score updates. Matty Blackwell's there looking for Four's score. He's currently leading 17-3 on the rink next door to us. On the next rink, it appears Neil Crisp is currently leading 12-9. All these scores are based on the fact that we hope the home and away is right, correcting with what we can see with the corresponding region cards, but we'll do our best to give you the right scores. On the next rink, Jared Harriman from the Murray Mallee is up 12-6. And on rink 5, we have one of the ladies' singles matches. And it's a very close affair. 5-6 and 6 to the way of the Eastern Rangers representative in there. Been any, well, we touched on some of the players we mentioned before, and any other standout performers you've seen this week so far?
Oh, look,
Juniors and all open?
Got to be impressed with Reece Jeffs. I've seen him run his bowl show on Facebook, but hadn't really seen him play before. But he played John Snell. It was super impressive. As much as Snelly's a very good player, he's been around probably 60 years playing. But his semi-final performance against Dean O'Neill and then the final was exceptional. Really just steady and backed himself on the draw shot time and time again, and then when he got into trouble, was able to play weight to get himself out. So
What I found impressive about him watching Ant was that we were talking about how sometimes the swing shots here can be a bit tricky. I think he was the one who nearly executed them the best out of anybody. This what I've seen in the singles at the very least, you know.
yeah, he sort of backed himself to play that what I'd consider probably a three-quarter pace or swinging weight where you're losing your bowl, but instead of sort of forcing it firmer or drive. But yeah, I've seen it a number of times where he was just potting jacks clean on the swing. So I didn't have a good look, but I think he was using XGs.
Yes, he was
Yeah,
using XG.
so
Nathan a bit unlucky there with his last turn, and Ryan's in for shot.
and kudos to his opponent in the final. Brad Lancaster played 2 ribbing matches the last evening when he beat Thor Shannon. I can't get used to that.
I think I still call him Todd.
Oh, yeah, he's been played for 20 years. But, and then he had a ripping game this morning against you, Josh, where he seemed to be cruising along, and then all of a sudden you turned the heat up, and I thought you might have got out of that one, but it was a topsy-turvy game. But
Yeah, not to be. No, he was fantastic. The one thing I can say about Brad was, and I've mentioned it in some of the commentary when Carl was playing chess in their finals, that I think your first bowl's critical in singles, and if your first bowl's really on, you're very hard to beat. And I know the match I played against him, his first bowl was fantastic for the majority of that match, you know. So
I think he was like that for 3 games.
Yep.
Yeah, I've played Brad at Regions before. But, he stepped it up a level the last 2 days for sure.
it's 2 to Ryan there. He makes the score 11 apiece. What about on the ladies' side of things, Ian? Well, again, juniors or open. Have you know, someone has impressed you this week, or someone that you would have not normally, a household name that may have potentially have sprung to your eyes a little bit?
No, the one that I hadn't seen before was the lady from Wangaratta who happened to win the singles, the champions singles, and she's now playing at the moment.
Yeah,
the
state singles.
State singles as well. So I hadn't sighted her before. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how she goes in this event. She made this semi-final of the champions. No, it was great to see the ladies' fours final.
The Shreslecki ladies.
The Shreslecki ladies, 2 from Terrelgan and 2 from Neerim, was it?
Yeah, I think it was Neerim, yeah.
Playing against what I'd call 3 international players. Yeah, it's a sort of David and Goliath battle, and it was quite amazing. So as I say, anything can happen in bowls, and anyone can beat anybody.
Absolutely.
On the day.
Yep. Cracking correction there by Ryan. We're looking for a score update here. Brad, just can't see the score, but it looks like Neil Crisp is 13-10 up against Lee Schreiner on ring 3 there. This has probably been discussed already, but the facility, Ant, I mean, I said we've seen more and more of these going up around the state now and across the country, but another brilliant facility for bowlers to come and play on.
Yeah, look, you can't complain about the setup that they've got here. This is just my commentary, but I'd love to see one somewhere that's not pokey funded. If anyone's got a spare 2 or 3 million, that's...
There's actually two in Shepparton.
Is there?
Yeah.
Unpokey funded. I actually haven't been to Shepparton to see that, so...
So Shep Park's non-pokies, and great hit there by Bushy.
Well, that's good to hear that there is.
Yep. And East Shepparton recently got one, and again, it's not this style, it's more of the, how would you explain it, a shed style, I guess,
Yep.
cover. But I know that Jack did stay in then.
But undisputably, it's the way bowls is going to go, as much as we all probably like playing on grass greens. But It's just going to give clubs the ability to play 12 months of the year.
Yeah.
And we are in Victoria, so we can't really think that our weather down here is perfect all the time.
I think all the rest of the states think we have 4 seasons in one day, so I guess that's why we have starting to get these facilities. Unfortunately, our camera at the back just misses the where the jack is situated at the moment, so we're going to use the 45-degree angle to try and capture the rest of this end.
Probably going to count. It's still going to be a long way away.
I would think Calibre Nathan.
I think pencil it in for 1.
Yeah. Although, I don't know whether you've seen that state force final the other night where the 2 skippers went...
I did see that.
I only mentioned Brad Orr's name because he's a mate of mine, but that was terrible. Great ball there by Nathan. Takes the score to 12-11 in Nathan's favour. Now, Anne, you're a current state selector. How long have you been doing that now for?
We sort of haven't had a season last year, or we missed a lot of it, so because a lot of the rep bowls is played sort of February to September, so we sort of missed that. So it's really the 2nd season, but 3rd year.
Yep. And how are you finding the role so far? I mean, it's a volunteer role to be a state selector. How are you enjoying it? And for those who may be interested in even their own club selection, watching back at home, what are the challenges of selection that you find?
It's a quick way to lose friends. Some say it's a quick way for people to be a lot more friendlier to you. Look, I've been picking teams for a long, long time, even from my younger days, involved at club level. So it's something that I enjoy doing in terms of the management side of it, and trying to get good teams together and at all levels. So I was involved with indoor carpet bowls for a long time and was chairman of the state selection committee of that for 7 or 8 years.
And probably what a lot of people don't realise is it's more to it than just bowls results and bowls performance. It's things you got to look into at different times is compatibility and how people are going to line up with one another too.
That's the biggest issue with putting any team together. I can go and get the best 16 players in Victoria, but if they all can't play position and can't play with each other, then it's the old adage of a team of champions will beat a champion team.
Yep.
Sorry, champion team will beat a team of champions anytime. So compatibility is vital.
Yep.
It's just having each other's back and being able to support each other and encourage is the key to it.
Nathan's currently holding 1 this end. Ryan looks to be attacking to a point, probably trying to get under that green bowl to get down to his own or the jack.
A couple of good bowls in position there, but I've been saying it all game, but as soon as you play a yard of weight on that side, you tend to miss wide. Looks like it might be counting.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at the screen there. And
Marker's indicated 2.
Ryan play the same shot? Or was he trying to get back to the
I
draw?
don't think he's got too much else, but I'd probably, he's just got to be under that front green. It's a couple of rolls out of his own, he'll get second. Or
could have even made 3 potentially. Bushy's asking for the measure, so he might think it's in. And you also hear from a dual capacity this week, because your daughter's been playing.
Yeah. Juniors having their own Champions Week at the same time as the adults, which I think is fantastic. It's great for the selectors anyway, because we can get to see everyone at the same time instead of having to have 2 weeks out.
How do you go as a dad, following your daughter's playing?
No, I'm pretty relaxed. She's had a good stint, so this is her last time in juniors, so if she wants to be coming back to Champions Week, she'll have to be competing with the big girls.
Yep. I've got some scores from down that back green. Our trusty runner has come back with a couple of scores. We've got Brody 8 versus Smith 8. Shram 5 versus Roger 15. Higgins 9 versus Hannaford 8. And Nathan Murray 23 versus Lloyd Icarano 10. Also, a couple on this green here as the start of the next end occurs. On ring 2, Thor or Tailed Shannon is 17-8 up. On ring 3, Neil Crisp is 16-10 up against Lee Schreiner. On ring 4, Jared Hammond is 15-6 up over Ray Emerson. On rink 5, I said we've got the Eastern Rangers versus Yarra, and it looks like Eastern Rangers is 11-6 up. On rink 6, we have Ovens and Murray versus Geelong, and Geelong is currently 15-12 up. Rink 7, we have CGM versus West Coast, and the West Coast representative, the local, is 15-10 up against the talented and young Olivia Cartwright, and that is it for this particular green.
Just looking across, Josh, Neil Chris 16-10 up, and he's playing ditch to ditch against Lee Schreiner. And
That's Lee's bread and butter generally?
That is Lee's. Anyone that's watched a lot of bowls knows that Lee plays ditch to ditch. And Lee just won an end before and went minimum length. Been a long time since I've seen that.
Neil's home club, he obviously practices probably frequently here. Obviously he probably knows what his game plan is, I've got a question for you, Ant, from one of the viewers at home. Given how successful this has been at... Hang on, 2 seconds. Given how successful this has been at an indoor complex, do we see it being held at a complex like this in the future? Or, the positives, obviously not having to worry about inclement weather, or do you think, we go back to being on a grass green as traditionally we would play?
Oh, look, I think there's a lot of options. Bowls Vic, probably for the situation that we've been in, to be able to have it here, have it all under 2 domes, and effectively with a few games outside, and having over 60s, juniors and seniors all together has been fantastic. But I'm not sure whether there's too many venues around Victoria that's going to have a facility such as this that can house it all in 1 week. But look, I think it's probably the way to go if we can do that. Now, whether that's indoor or outdoor, normally this time of year it's stinking hot.
Yep.
But yeah, there's plenty of good clubs around the country and metro areas of Victoria that have got two or three good grass greens that could facilitate something like this.
Yeah. If you had a preference yourself personally?
Look, I'll always prefer to play on a grass green.
Yep.
Because I think you got more variables, more elements to deal with.
And the truer or the better player per se is probably going to win in that scenario. I guess is that what you're sort of saying to a point, or at least in that match, at least anyway. Who handles it?
I think I think you just a range of factors that you need to deal with. Where once you're inside here, the wind just goes out of play, which has been as I keep saying to a lot of people, it's called warm bowls for a reason.
Ryan's just attacking and unfortunately misses a little wide. It could be another 2 to Nathan here. Nathan's got on a bit of a roll here at the moment. He's won 3 out of the last 4 ends. Has taken the lead 16-11. And probably coincided with a bit of map movement and jack placement as well too. And
Yeah, Nathan's been winning the shorter ends and Ryan the longer ends. So.
you would have played against Bushy a lot over the years, Ant?
Haven't played. I've played with him at Mooney Ponds.
There you go. Forgot about that one.
Played him in UBC a couple of times.
Yep.
No.
Thought there might have been a time there where you might have been in a different Premier League club, whether it was a Metropolitan one or even the old Ballarat Geelong one, you know, so...
By the time the Geelong Ballarat came along, I was already out of that area.
Yeah, there you go.
And I don't think Nace played anywhere else but Mooney Ponds in Metro.
That's correct.
And when I think he was there, I was there.
There you go.
He might have been there for a year after me, maybe.
He started well again this end. Probably the other thing that's noticeable with Nate the last 4 or 5 ends, his weight's been particularly very good.
Yeah, these shorter ends, he's definitely got the line right, the weight right, and it's just a matter of that line. It's just where this jack is positioned. It tends to, you just miss your line a little bit, you tend to drop away, as Ryan's just done again. It's the intricacies of these carpets.
A couple of questions here from some of the viewers. Johnny Walker's asking what discipline Crispy and Leroy are playing, or they're playing the state singles. We're at the state single stage now for both men and ladies. Said the men's and ladies champions completed the game prior to this one. And then we've got a couple of questions around some of the scores from out the back. We will do our best to try and get them for you. So some of the games are out in the far green, and there's even one game outside at the moment too. When we can, we will try and update you all with all those scores. You talked about before, you know, some of the names, you know, who I got to the, you know, at least the final will probably, you know, Reece and Brad were probably not necessarily as well known across the state as bowlers, but obviously they are accomplished bowlers. But the flip side is the state singles seems to be a who's who of Victorian bowlers.
It tends to be because you get the champions tends to be a bit more open. I think if you go back through the years, it's probably fielded a few different winners that probably not household names, but yeah, you go a long way to just the 6 or 7 that are on this green alone in terms of better singles players.
Ryan's played a very good bowl here.
Yeah.
And drawn shot, which he needed.
He needed that. It was 3
stop the
down
momentum.
at 11-14. It would have been 11-17, but now it's 12-16. So big shot.
Getting back to your role as a state selector, do you have a vision of how long you want to stay in the role? Is it just sort of something you're going to play by ear and go from there, sort of thing?
I can tell you I won't be in the role as long as the past chairman that I took over from Wilt was.
I guess you're inferring Arnold O'Brien.
Yeah.
Good old Arnie.
Look, I think selectors are probably like football coaches. They've all got a timeline, and if you're doing a good job. But the key is selection doesn't work if you don't have the development that sits behind it. So you and your role, Josh, and what the state coaches that are coming up looking after the under-18s and those sort of in the 18 to 30 range, and then our senior squad. So we've got to keep building the quality of bowls in Victoria, and that makes the job of the selectors a lot easier.
And I think these days we have a lot more pathway opportunities, for people entering the sport. I mean, go back 20, 30 years ago when we started, there's probably limited events versus what there is now. You can come into the sport a little later now, and you can actually make a state over 60 state side, even represent your country at over 60 level now. So there is opportunities for people to actually get into the pathway system. You're throwing the emerging and the pathway squads now, which is the pathway squads is a brand new inception from Bowls Australia. So I mean, there's a couple of Victorians here this week that have been included in that for the first time, and obviously they've been identified as potential stars of the future too. So I think we are in a good position in terms of the high performer side of things, that we've got some people have got chances to get themselves out there if they want to.
Yeah, that's right. I think the only thing missing at the moment is we've got to get that over 40 side going. Tony might be cringing, but
I might be back in your hand. I'm 8 months away from turning the big 4-0, so...
I look at our state side now, we've got one player over 40. It seemed to be an unwritten rule for a while that once you got to 40 you're out of it, so...
Yeah, I still think... I think the sport does prove, though, that I think age is no barrier. And I think if you're good enough, I think you can make the side. There's no doubt about it.
No, I don't disagree with that at all.
That's a terrific bowl by Ryan Tainton. You're just looking at our camera angle here. Nathan has asked the
3
question.
bowls within an inch, I reckon.
And the umpires boldly said Nathan's holding one.
Wow. He's drawn a touch error and still down.
I'm a betting man. I'd say Nathan would be trying to cover the back to some extent.
Yeah.
He does have the backers now. What's Ryan doing in this situation?
Well, I think he can only play a similar sort of bowl. If he can just touch on the outside of his, he might be able to get a little bit of jack movement backwards. Nathan's bowl might actually even flop out the way it's sitting. So,
could he, with enough weight on his forehand, if he touched the outside of his last bowl, push it far enough to even bring the wing bowl in as well too?
Yeah, potentially. It's all about the angle, but we're too far away from see how good it's sitting. Definitely got purpose. I think he's on the high side again. It's like the bowl's missing wide with weight.
There hasn't been many that miss narrow, have they? I think the applause was for on ring 3 where Neil Crisp may have been down and he's drawn a side knocker. And Nathan playing it safely there.
I'm not sure he was going to draw another one.
Wonder Nathan takes the score to 17-12.
question for you, Josh. In your new role at Bowls Vic,
Yep.
let's share a little bit of information about what's that all about and what you're going to be up to.
Yeah, so I am one of the participation coordinators. I'm actually the only one at this stage. We have and the other participation coordinator role's been advertised at this stage. So if you think you want to get into the bowls game and you're keen to work in the sport and you're passionate about the sport like I am, there's an opportunity for people out there to get involved. But participation coordinator is essentially how it sounds. You're obviously trying to get people playing the sport, So we have a number of state-based programs like the Roll-Up program, which is a junior designated program, getting new juniors onto the green. We have the Bowling with Babies program, which actually won a state award for a new initiative program where we're getting mums and their bubs on the green in a social, low-impact, non-threatening environment, and we've had some great results in terms of you don't get necessarily the mums joining your club and playing the sport full on straight away, but what we do get is mums and ladies entering sport for the first time after they've had a baby, and sometimes that's a hard thing to do, and I think the social outcomes in that space are quite good, so and then I look after things like junior events, partially involved with the running of the juniors this week. Whilst I've been competing, I've sort of had to hand over some of that to our brand new events and competition manager, and Jimmy Whitehead, who's doing a fantastic job, along with Barb, who's been doing it for a long time herself, and I'm also responsibility for a lot of the disability stuff and the all ability stuff, and so we're trying to get new people in that space coming into the sport, provide open days, and for people in that space, there's some great pathways in that space. We have some city country rep sides for the intellectually disabled bowlers. We have state sides for the vision impaired and the physical bowlers, and you can also represent your country in a lot of this stuff as well too. So we've got a couple of projects we're working on in the background too that may provide more opportunities in our sport as well too. So it's a great job, and I'm very lucky to be working in the sport. And
that's a new role that Bowls Vic has created.
No, the role's been around for a while. They've had people in participation space for a while. Our former events and competition manager, Sean O'Kane, who recently just left us before Jimmy, started out in a participation role. Instead, we've had Neil Gray and even Scott Nicholas in charge of that space as well too. So we've had some good people who've worked in the sport. And whilst it's sad to lose some of these people, I think what we find is that bowlers can be also a great introduction of people in the sport, and some of those guys that have been in our sport and added to our sport have gone on to bigger and better things in other sports now too. So it just shows you we do get a lot of good people working in our sport over the years. So
you mentioned city country. The plans are afoot for the new state trials for the men and ladies this year to be a city versus country challenge. So it's always been the old style trials, where pretty much irrespective of where you come from, we just pick normally the top 32 or so, but this year it's going to be a city versus country. Venue's still to be determined, but I think it'll be pretty much in central Victoria. So we're really looking forward to that. It's going to be an ability for a lot more country players to be showcased. As we saw earlier, two guys that we hadn't seen a lot of before in the singles. Pitting their wits against the Metro boys, who will be pretty confident and cocky that they'll reign supreme. But
I love the concept, Ian, personally. I know New South Wales has been using it as their base state trial for a fair few years now, and I think having the, what's the word I'm looking for? The pride of representing country versus city, because there is a bit of that about it, I think that will only add to making it a very competitive state trial.
Look, for those that have been at state trials in the past that are regulars, it tends to be can be a little monotonous at times, and whether you play to win game or whether you play to get scores game. One of the first things I said when I got selected to the panel was that we got to change up the trials because it needs to get to whether it got to a city versus country, and I was all for playing an origin style, so where you were born or where you started playing bowls.
So we would have had a few more Metro guys playing for country then.
Metro wouldn't stand a chance. When you go through the current Metro's quality players, there's a lot that are country based initially.
I think, I don't know whether you've had this discussion with Tony, who was obviously commentating prior to me, but the same concept could be played at state level too, you know, and what would the Victorian side look like if we were able to pick based on where they were born?
Yeah, we had that debate.
I thought you might have.
Tony raised it and started slagging the New South Wales, so I'm not jumping into that.
You know, I'll provide a couple updates here, guys. Obviously, this match is going along. It's been a brilliant match so far. Ryan's just drawn another one after a great Nathan lead bowl. Some scores on some other rinks. On rink 3, we have Neil Chris playing Lee Schreiner. And the game has tightened up a little bit here with Neil one in front of Lee, 17-16. On rink 4, Ray Emerson from Baruga, Central Goulburn Murray, is playing Jared Hammond from the Murray Mallee, and Jared is currently leading 18-8 at this stage. And the ladies, we have Eastern Rangers playing Yarra, and at this stage the Eastern Rangers is up 11-9. On the next rink we have Central Goulburn Murray versus, no, that's Uplands and Murray, my apologies, versus Geelong. And it looks like Geelong is leading 21-14. Next rink is the West Coast versus Central Goulburn Murray. And West Coast is leading 19-13. And that's all I can see on this screen. Getting back to the rink we're streaming, and Nathan Bush has come down and played an absolute bomb. Sat Ryan's bowl, turned the jack over a little bit for shot.
It looks like it's probably going to force him on the backhand on the ditch side, which is... he hasn't played a lot of bowls down this side.
Do you think it's the dead draw, or do you think it's a bit more weight?
No, I'm not sure he'd be having too much more than a yard of weight here.
Nathan try and add here, or what does he do?
He doesn't have a lot of room.
Could he play his forehand? I mean, he said we know his bowl's turned probably not bad on this rink, and try and get down to Ryan's bowl and flop it once for maybe 3.
He could, but you probably wouldn't want to flop his front one onto his own and pop the jack for one down. Yeah, I just don't have any...
He's taking his time working out what he's going to play.
I think that was a throw one away bowl. Yeah, I don't think that was trying.
And we do have a result already on ring 2. Sandbelt representative and Paul Shannon has beaten the Metro West representative in Brett Mahoney 25-10. Nathan reverts straight back to the mat up and the jack.
Just a comment on the live stream there from Grassy Smith. A lot of the country bowlers are looking forward to it.
It's only 24 going to get the chance of playing it though, isn't it, Ian?
Grassy, you better tell me which ones are that are playing.
Oh, great starting bowl by Nathan. You said you played a year with Nathan. my experience with him, he's one of the most natural leaders I've ever met in my life when it comes to the sport of bowls, and probably just in life in general. But he's obviously coaching his club at Eastern Park. He's bringing them up through the ranks. But how's your experience with him in that regards?
Yeah, look, he was only a young fella back then. That's over, he's nearly 20 years ago. He's probably not that old, but Nath was skipping a rink at the time, and he was a quality player back then, growing up, and yeah, very good within the team, very good leader of people. We had a lot of success at Geelong West and now at Eastern Park.
He'd be someone you'd probably want to get into that city countryside.
We've been trying to get him to trials for a couple of years.
Good response there by Ryan, cutting it back to 1.
He's played state bowls in the past, and
Yes.
Bushy's a good player, and that's the thing. My view is that the best players in Victoria should be at trials. I want everyone in the state available to play. It shouldn't be about just those that are available and people not willing or able or having time off. We need to take all those factors in to make sure that our best players are playing, representing our state.
Great bowl by Ryan. Tact, and the jack spit off one of Nathan's bowls and it's gone out to the side. It's very close to the boundary line, 6 inches maybe. But Ryan is holding shot with the bowl to come.
I'd lay money both the next 2 bowls are inside the shot though.
We've seen a couple of times this week when we've broadcasted about the outside in or the inside out method when it comes to drawing into the jack out near the boundary peg. In your experience, Ant, what would you normally do in this circumstance?
Normally you draw back inside the line. The only time I'd probably not do that is if the green's holding and you can get stuck outside the peg, but on a surface such with as much speed as this has, you know you're going to get back most of the time.
Great draw shot by Ryan. 1 gets him to 14 and he trails Nathan Bush on 17. And how's your Metropolitan season going so far, Ant? Essendon's been a very strong side for a long time now. I might have taken a quick squiz at the ladder, and it's probably not the start you guys are looking for. How would you define your year thus far?
One of the rules was we weren't allowed to talk about pennant. No, let's just say that we haven't registered with the scorers yet, but we're getting closer. Yep. Look, we've had a lot of success. We lost a few players this year, and COVID probably didn't do us any favours with some probably country players that had intended to come and play with us, but given the region lockdowns and border lockdowns, etc., has caused us a little bit of grief, but thank God we're going to get 18 games because we're going to need every one of them.
Just a correction on the score, it is actually 18-14 to Nathan. probably the loosest opening 4 bowls I've probably seen him play since I've joined the commentary. And Nathan's this one's good.
Loosest 4.
Loosest 3. I'll rephrase that first statement. But it has been. They've been pretty tight with their first opening bowls, haven't they?
It's probably the longest end they've played of the match, actually. They're nearly playing T to T, so.
Ryan Cleasy's only a sniff. If we've got some new bowlers watching at home, and what's one of the earlier coaching tips you got that you think put you in good stead for the rest of your bowls career?
I think if I do a little bit of coaching, and the key is, to me, it's not whether how you delivery per se. Like, everyone's different. Everyone will get the bowl away differently. The thing is, it's got to be consistent. So the art of correction can only be done if you're getting the bowl away the same every time. So if one time you're bowling and it's nice and smooth, the next time it's bouncing 6 inches out of your hand, it's very hard to adjust weight. So I don't, when I see a lot of new bowlers or people that have played come to me and say, oh, fix this or fix that or change this, or I want a delivery like Peter Lowe, I go, don't even bother. Stick with what you got.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it repetitively.
I think what's important about that is everybody's bodies are different too, you know,
Correct.
so you have to do what works for you.
Yeah, and what your body will allow you to do. I've got a question on the live stream from Jade Campbell. When is the city versus country trial? That is a very good question. I think it's intended for mid-May. There's a meeting later this week to confirm that that was the proposed time. With the season as it's been, I know we're going to be trying to cram a lot into the March to May period. I think we've got another state champions week in April.
Yes, or even early May.
We've got
trying to remember my
champion
schedule.
of state pennant.
Yes.
I know the
Region sides.
metropolitan pennant champion finals go 3 weeks later than normal.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, region sides. There's a lot of bowls, so.
And probably the other reason, like in the past, state trials used to be Septemberish prior to the season, because you'd have some test series throughout, and, you know, the bowls, our bowls calendar, I guess, of Victoria. But then Australian Sides Championships has now moved to a different time of the year, and so that corresponds with obviously the date change of this potential city country challenge as well.
Yeah, so I think at the moment the proposal is that we sort of trial May. There'll be a series against Tassie in July, New South Wales I think in August, and then into Ellie Shield in September, with a series probably as a warm-up prior to that. And that'll be the same for men and ladies, of course.
There's a measure going on here for everybody at home. There's been 2 of Nathan's bowls taken out already, so he does have 2 for sure, and an umpire has been called to see if he's got 3 or not. And your responsibility, obviously, is also for some other than the state sides, the juniors. I think is it part of your responsibility?
No, it's not. That's probably what you and I need to talk about. Hence maybe why I asked the question earlier. But yeah, I think there's going to be some overlap there. I think
Over 60s?
Over 60s definitely.
Yes.
Fit into our bucket.
Geez, you might be picking the disabled state side too. I'm throwing you heaps of jobs here.
Yeah, throw that $100 away, Josh. No, I think it's key for bowls, and particularly those that are involved at those levels in the juniors. Juniors and the open committee have a lot of dialogue and interaction. I was fortunate enough to manage or coach the juniors in Adelaide. When was that? Last year, when Matt who was playing in the open side. So just being able to see a few of those and how they play under pressure, and
that assists you with the open side. Then obviously, you know, when they may potentially transition and be the next future stars.
Correct, that's right. It's the one thing Victoria's done really well, even going back to my days. We were talking about this with the state coach last night. That, I think when I was in the side at 22, I think, or 21, there was probably 16 in the side back then. 6 of the 16 were probably under 25. So we've always promoted the juniors, and once they come out of junior ranks, give them an opportunity.
I don't think other states are too dissimilar.
No, I think they all just learn from us.
Vic's do it better, is that the same?
It's all the Victorians that went up north that then changed all their systems.
Yeah. She said, we can get Tony back on and he'll start rattling them all off for you too, you know, so... Yeah, I thought he would have. Pretty sure me and him talked about it about 2 days ago. Someone's asked about a score from Wimmera versus Casey. Unfortunately, I can't see that where I'm based at the moment, Peter, but we might try and get someone to potentially run and have a check for us, some scores from down the next screen. Where we're based, we're sitting to the side of this show rink here. You can actually probably even see us in the feed there. Lockie, our technical advisor, is waving at the moment. And so we can sort of see across this main green here from the side of it, and the other green is a little bit below, and without knowing where the rinks are, we can't exactly give you an exact score at this stage. So it was 2 to Nathan. This takes him to 20 to 14.
The other scores, Neil Crisp leads Lee Schreiner 20 to 16. Jared Hammond leads Ray Emerson 21-8. And the ladies, Eastern Rangers Vicky Smith 16 to 12 on Tris Doolan from Yarra. And Geelong leads 23-18 against
Peter Maddies from
Wangaratta.
Yep.
And on the far rink, the local is leading 21-17.
It looks like we've got actually someone must be sitting behind the rink, but also looking at the watching the live stream for some time, and they've given us an update. Wimmera is leading 24, Casey 16. So thank you to Noreen if you're sitting there, or you're getting scores from someone else. Ryan got to do anything differently? I mean, it's getting to the stage where if things don't change soon, you might be looking at defeat. Obviously, getting the next end back is obviously very vital, because then you can dictate what you want to do in terms of tactics. But anything else you think you can do differently? Yeah.
No, well, I think he won the last end, went ditch to ditch, and didn't pay off. So he played a pretty poor end there. And at the moment, Nathan's just beating him on the draw consistently. So it only takes 1 or 2 bowls.
Sometimes it's not about what your strengths are when you're playing this game, and sometimes it's about actually finding maybe somewhere where your opponent's a little bit more vulnerable or not as switched on. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, in team games I'd say for sure. You're talking to the wrong person about his singles expertise.
Nathan could get a little jack movement. I'm not sure he can or not with where Ryan's bowls are situated, but he could get a little jack movement. He could make 4 here. He's made me look silly and he's fallen short.
You think he's lying 1 or 2 down?
If I'm looking at the camera, I feel like it's 2.
We're going to see some aggression.
Yeah, he might look to get both bowls or get the jack. Bowl bounced off the green.
It's
Off
a
the
bit stiff. That
Yeah.
his bowl ricocheted actually over the top of the jack.
I'm not sure I've seen that. Probably has happened before, but I don't think I've seen that. Takes the score now to 21-14. Trapper Bradley's asking us Ethan Higgins' score. Again, Trap, I'd have to send someone down there potentially to get us a score. I'll see what I can do for you. He was 9 all the last score we did get though. Thinking about that last bowl of Ryan's and how unlucky he was, sometimes it takes a bit of luck to get you back into a game too.
Oh, there's plenty of that in this game.
And sometimes you just need to go your way to get a bit of momentum back sometimes. So people don't play for it, but great bowls there by Ryan.
Couple jack eye. I'm not sure this is going to sit around for long. On the draw, I thought he'd be more aggressive.
Ryan could get a little jack moving himself and hide. It would be probably ideal. A bit more aggression this time now, based on the fact that he's got 2/3.
I'm shocked he left his last one short, to be honest, for 2 jack eye bowls. But I think the jack might be going in the pit.
He's predominantly a backhand driver too. Stays in. Which should give Ryan plenty of room to probably draw a shot here. the bowl jumped up again then too.
Yeah, you tend to see it a lot more on the synthetic surface. So that interesting to hear from a scientist how the friction on the carpet changes to a long green, because you see some very interesting things on the carpet. Bowls flipping against the bias a lot more.
Yeah. Shot to Ryan. 21-15. So I've got some scores coming back now from the bottom green. Brody 16 versus Smith 18. Roger 25 did defeat Pat Schramm 7. Hannaford 16 is leading Higgins 9. And Nathan Murray defeated Lloyd Icarano, but I don't have a score on that one. So Ryan didn't go back to the ditch to ditch, but he still rolled a longer length end. Before the start of the state singles, if you were to make a prediction for a winner from each discipline.
Tony, Jimmy asked me that earlier. I did for the champions. I had 2 finalists, but that didn't come to fruition. With the talent on show here, no, I'm not sure how you could.
On ring 3, Neil Crisp has played a nice weighted shot. He's peeled Lee's bowl out of the head, and I think he's now holding 2 shots.
Well, I know Lee Schreiner's won the singles and the champions before, and I know Bushy's won at least.
He's won each of them.
Each of them as well.
Yeah. Ryan will be looking to just get underneath his bowl here, I reckon. The conditions of play always say that you shouldn't, go and have a look at the head until you've played your third bowl. But I've never heard a marker or an umpire ever stop you from going down to look beforehand, have you?
Oh, look, I'm old school. I was just about to ask you what the actual ruling is. I should have read the conditions of play, maybe. But I'm from the day where you used to go up second bowl, third bowl, fourth bowl.
Okay. I'm pretty sure the conditions of play say you don't not allowed to.
It's all about all in the to try and save time. But
absolutely.
Anyone that's seen me play knows it's I don't take my time on the mat, so it's never a bother.
Nathan's currently holding 1.
Yeah, they've avoided this forehand this way in particular a lot, but I don't think Ryan's got any option now. He needs to be careful with weight though.
I was about to say, I'm not saying this is the best option either, but could he try and get it tight and get it under his own and push Nathan's out and then hang around, for maybe for three?
That's probably the ideal shot, is to be under line. I've seen too many miss wide too, so ideally cracks an egg on Nathan's and might sit for us. Oh. I think he's spooned that wide. Didn't like it out of his hand. I didn't anyway.
That was the danger of that shot, is that if he happened to catches the jack
with that weight,
yeah, he can go 2 or 3 down. I reckon Nathan, I'm trying to predict his shot here, will stick with his backhand. His bowls are getting down far enough, but if he gets his weight right, he should be able to flop in front of Ryan's back bowl and then make that as a second.
And he's proved you wrong again. I think he's blowing a bit of smoke.
Did get his line right though that time. 1 to Nathan. Takes the score to 22 to 15. It looks as though the Geelong region representative in the state singles has won her game.
And that applause you can hear is for the local in the ladies that has just got over the junior, Olivia Cartwright, in a tight one, 25-20.
She's pretty happy too, which is great. Well, the fans will be getting behind her here too.
There's hugs all around there.
Nathan started with 2 good ones. Oh, Ryan's a little unlucky. He got a bit of the jack, but unfortunately didn't go with it. Bit of method in Nathan's madness there. You might think Ryan might not be short here.
It's got purpose. Oh wow, he's touched the jack again and nothing.
On rink 4 we have a result. Nathan Hammond from the Murray. Jared Hammond. I've even played region bowls with him, so I should know his name. Has won his match against Ray Emerson. Looks like, I'd suggest from the score, 25 to 13. We're getting to the pointy end of some of these matches. Ant.
We are. We're just waiting for the Schroner crisp score to go up. And
looks as though they're
hazard a
rolling.
guess, I think it's 22-20, but we're just waiting.
They're rolling ditch back at each other too.
They are now. We had one minimum length. He didn't win it and gave it away. Ryan's probably down game here, is he? Or maybe not.
No. Unfortunately, Ryan slides under the head. The score now goes to 24 to 15 Nathan's way.
And that score in the other game, Neil Crisp, the local, leads Lee Schreiner 21-20.
Couple other updates from that back green. Brody 21, Smith 19, and Higgins is now 14 versus Hannaford 16. Nathan drawing a very nice second bowl there. Currently holding match lie. And Ryan or Tacky, I reckon, Ant.
Let's just hope it's not wide. Wow.
It's the first one we've seen go under, hey? While we're waiting for Nathan to play his last, Joshy Barry, yeah, Brett Mahoney went down 25 to 10 to Thor Shannon. Thor Shannon was the winner in that game. Does Nathan try and tidy it up here, or does he stay away from
I think he draws a front touch. It's just about curtains. No back, he took his own back bowl out, Ryan, so he gets to the front of this jack. One in his hand's the only one that can end up shot.
Yes, I believe so. And unfortunately Ryan misses, and that's our match. Nathan is our winner, 25 to 15. Wow, two great mates, former teammates. I want to thank Ant for coming on the live stream this afternoon, helping us out here at Bellsvic, you know, and providing all your expertise. It's been brilliant. For everyone at home, thank you for joining in. We will be having our triples finals live streamed shortly. There'll be a short break. But again, thank you again for joining. Winner of our live stream match was Nathan Bush, 25-15 over Ryan Tainton.